since we've learned that we were going to interview you guys, XY Unlimited, from the day one, I was wondering the name. I'm sure this question is asked all the time,
Yes,
it's a typical band question, of course. Do you want to ask it, or do you want me to ask it?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay? All right. Why XY Unlimited? What does it mean? Where did it come from?
Yeah. We have all sorts of clever answers for this.
Ooh, okay,
Well,
cool.
We'll tell you the true story, though.
Okay.
You know, first of all, if you guys who are listening at home, come check us out at 7. You'll see that we've got patches on our jackets that we wear that say XY.
And they
So
look
that's our logo.
fabulous.
Yeah.
They do.
And so, you know, naming our band something long and unpronounceable would have made it really hard to make little crest patches.
Very true.
Nice.
But, you know, I think that we're at a point now in the history of music where all the cool band names are taken. So we just wanted to pick something that was short and iconic. We're obviously all guys, so XY is our chromosomal configuration, if you will.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Went right over my head.
Depending on who asks us, too, we sometimes say that's the last 2 letters of sexy.
That's true. That's very true.
We gotta
Very
say,
true.
Simon Cowell didn't think that was very good.
No, he
Just say.
didn't. Most people
What does
don't.
he think is good? Honestly, it's hard
Good
to convince
question.
that guy. The way I have a theory about band names,
Mm.
and this is my opinion. You know, you please don't call in and complain to me that I'm wrong, because I probably am. But it's not real. I mean, the name. You know, band names are okay. You know, they're important. Yes. But if you think about a lot of popular bands, like for example, Red Hot Chili Peppers, when they first started out, people were probably like, "What are they? You know, that's a horrible band name. It's just Red Hot Chili Peppers or any band name."
The Beatles.
The
Exactly.
Beatles, exactly. Everybody
Music
was
speaks for
probably
itself.
like, "What? You know, that's stupid. What are you doing?" And now, good Lord, you hear the Beatles and you're like, "My God, you know." Greatest band, all this fun stuff. So I was just interested, you know, background stories and stuff. Can I hear a fake story? What do you guys say for fake stories?
Well, the sexy one was fake.
The sexy one's fake.
we didn't take that into account. It was a serendipitous coincidence.
I like it. I like it a
Now,
lot.
was it a long process, or is it just like someone threw it out and you're like, that's it?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
We love long processes in
Uh-huh.
general. We belabor everything. We make everything as difficult as it possibly can be because there's more rigor in it and therefore more meaning.
Very true.
So coming back from gigs, when we were just starting up and just starting to get our sets together and our songs together and find our sound, we were coming up with song names. But what we figured out very quickly is that coming back from a gig at like 2 a.m, your mind isn't quite right. So we ended up just coming up with ridiculous names.
Yeah, we're really good at that.
So what was supposed to be a very serious, time dedicated to coming up with our vision of our name just ended up into like very, very silly suggestions.
Beaver, squirrel.
Mm.
You know.
So we'd end up cracking each other up and not getting anything serious.
The
done at all.
awesome hippopotamuses.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely came
Something
up.
like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Spizzle Whizzle. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did dedicate a lot of time to it, but in the end, Mike had the very special idea, and we all just loved it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Speaking of coming up with ideas, as far as the songwriting goes, I mean, how do you guys all have? I'm sure if you started music early, you started writing songs at a young age. Did you have songs already, written that you just kind of threw to each other? Do you guys all write them together, or you just kind of leave me alone? I want to write a song. How does the songwriting process go?
A little bit of everything. I think we all have a little different process.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting question too, because like there's this one song that we're gonna play at the show tonight. We can't play it now because we have to tune our guitar special for it, but it's the first song we ever did together, and I remember this was like right after I kind of had the idea for the band, and I talked to James about it, and it was just starting to get going. We were setting up auditions, and I was on the flight to Miami for one of my best friend's bachelor party. And as I was sitting on the plane, I thought about how liberating it would feel to finally have a project that kind of did right by these dorky passions that we all have, and our boyhood dreams of being rock stars and conquering the world. And I realized how free I would feel. And suddenly, without warning, the lyrics to this chorus of this song, Free, came into my head, simultaneous with the melody and the chords, and then the drums and the bass and the guitar. It all came in at once, and I was lucky enough to have some sheet music with me on the plane. And so I started jotting it down, and by the time the plane landed in Miami, I had the kernel of an arrangement that then became our first song. So I think that because we have so many gifted people in our group, myself excluded, we've got the songwriters where we could probably have 100 songs. So we really try and pick the ones that inspire us all.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's insane.
Yes.
And I love how, a song, and to me, I think the best songs happen randomly.
Mhm.
Like you're sitting on an airplane and you're like, oh my goodness, I just thought of that. Let me just jot it down. Those are the best kinds of songs that come out.
Yeah.
Those are the best kind of situations that come out, honestly.
Yeah.
That is very cool. And I do agree you are very all talented musicians, and I can only imagine, the amount of songs that you have has got to be immense, which is
Yeah,
very
really.
cool. That's sweet. That is very, very cool. So.
I mean, when you're writing, when you get these ideas, do you have to write them down immediately, or do you go back? You wait till the end of the day and then you
Man.
sit down and write.
I have nightmares about forgetting songs.
Really?
Yeah, I've got to write them down right away. Especially if you've ever had a song come to you in a dream. I had a dream song recently. I woke up in Paris, and I went to sleep in Paris too. And I woke up, and I just had this just glimmer of a song as I woke up. And, my girlfriend was there, and she wanted to have breakfast, and I had to be a total jerky hermit. And you run into the stairwell and sit there crouched over my guitar, probably really scary looking, and just play it until I had it. Luckily, we have the technology these days with smartphones that you don't need to, you can just record it right there.
Capture your idea.
So that's a
Right.
blessing for musicians.
Oh, yeah.
I've forgotten songs, and I never want to do it again. It's terrible.
I was reading an interview a couple of weeks ago that Lady Gaga did for some magazine, and she was talking about how she gets her songs down, and she says she has this habit of, if she's falling on the sleep, literally on the periphery of sleep, and something comes to her, she forces herself to get up. She will not allow herself to fall asleep. And I know that if you really have a passion for songwriting, you will capture it however you can. I think we all sleep with dream catchers next to our bed, but that's not enough,
I make the dream catchers.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm a craftsman as well.
You guys can do it all.
Yeah, you want a
My
dream catcher? You
goodness.
want a song?
I'm gonna open up, a hair cutting book, and all your faces are gonna be right there. You guys should get your hair cut like these guys. Oh man, I do agree. All fabulous looking hair. Yes, we have time for one more song.
Yes.
If you guys are okay with that. But before we get to the song, I have one question that I always ask every band that we interview. Doesn't matter how big of the band, how small of the band.
Right.
And I just love, and it doesn't even have to be a band. I just love asking this question, and everybody gets a kick out of it. Now, there's 4 of you, so I'm hoping for 4 different answers. So don't be intimidated, but you can be intimidated. That's okay.
Okay.
So, my question is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
So
Who wants to start?
What you don't know is that these are the kinds of questions we ask each other all the time.
Oh,
All
I'm
the
sure.
time.
I'm
Big
sure.
debates.
I'm sure.
Big debates.
Who
Anybody
wants to
have
start?
a strong inclination?
Oh, it's easy. Laser beams out of the eyes.
All right, McCain is laser beams out of the eyes. May I ask why? Is it just now? Do you want to be able to control it, or do you just want to like rapid
Oh, I was
fire?
just the first thing that came to my mind. Gosh, I don't know. Big Superman fan.
Yeah, that's true.
Laser beams out of the eyes.
That's
You
true.
Just, yeah, just be,
It would make
just
opening
be
doors
cool.
a lot easier.
Good to
It
meet
would.
chicks. Hey,
Cut a hole in a wall.
shoot lasers out of my eyes.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a great way to meet women.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Sometimes
cool.
I tell women I can do that anyhow. And they,
I think we've all been there, honestly. So that's fine. Anybody else?
Oh,
I'm
my
not going to let
girlfriend.
everybody get off the hook with
Yeah.
the same answer.
I think these days it'd be teleportation.
Ooh,
That's
yes.
a really good one.
I really thought science was going to be there by now, and I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
So I want to do it myself. I want to be able to teleport anywhere, anytime, anyhow.
Scientists,
Cool.
Yeah.
looking at you.
Yeah.
Calling
I have
out.
to go with Zach on that one. I think my power would be to replace my shoulder blades with a jetpack because in LA traffic is really, really horrific.
I've heard.
And we keep being late to things, so I think if he could teleport and I could fly through the air, and maybe if McCain could use his laser beam eyes to shoot through traffic, I think we'd get there closer on time.
Yeah, no, I agree. James?
Yeah, oh man, this is
Sorry that you have to
hard.
go last.
It's so hard, and I think about this all the time. I kid you not, I think about it all the time. Because what if you run into a genie, right? I'm a big Wolverine fan.
Yes.
The hairy chest, the muscles, the claws.
Uh-huh.
I want all of those things for myself. But mostly I want the regeneration capabilities, because
That's what I'm
I don't
talking
care
about.
what other superpower you have. If you have regeneration, you could do anything.
Yes.
Because I could get a jetpack, and even if it burned me, I could heal, right? I
You could teleport. You could teleport if you had regeneration.
Well, I wouldn't need to teleport because
I'm not sure that would really.
I would go to you and we'd hold
Fellas,
hands.
I don't think we have enough time though. But thank you. I'm glad we have a X-Men
Yes.
fan. I love all
Oh,
the
yeah.
answers. Thanks so
Sweet.
much. Thanks for being here. We loved interviewing, and you guys
Really?
have made this show a ton of fun. Can't wait. They're playing at the Falcons Nest tonight, 7 o'clock sharp. Be there. You want to see these guys. They are fabulous.